I don't see any widowmakers up there. Everything looks, well, that one there, that could be a problem, but it'll fall that way. Hey, the sun came out. Nice. Started raining a minute ago. We're high ground on some low areas over there and over there. Soggy. Well, that's to be expected. Hey, we better do our intro first. Howdy ho, friends. Welcome to another episode of Trekking Tuesday. Before we get started, weather conditions. This morning I left the Mountaineer, 61 degrees. High today of 70, maybe 72. Last night and into early hours of the morning, we had severe weather, thunderstorms, and a lot of rain. Today, cloudy, overcast, slim chance of rain until about 5, 6 o'clock, and then the risk goes up from there. What are we doing? Oh, don't tell anybody, but it's really not Tuesday. I snuck out. Shh. I want to get as much outings as possible before lockdown. Anyway, what are we doing today? My tarp. Remember in the last episode, I talked about putting a bunch of extra grommets in it. And since I've got a lot of spare time on my hands now, I went ahead and did that last night. I had this thing sprawled out in the freaking living room. There they are. So I put grommets in between the grommets, and I want to try a different configuration for this one. And we're going to need poles too. Because this, well, this one might work. So that would be one. This is my hiking staff. Yeah, and we just got to find another one. I seen a down tree over that way we could probably grab some materials off of, so that would be two. And then I'm going to set it up along here, which is pretty level, and the river is that direction, Mountaineer that direction, road that direction, Ray Road that direction, TP Island there, Wiki Hut, and the new camp TP, Lazy Log there. So we're kind of in the middle. I wanted to get far enough away from the trail, which is up there, so we don't get spotted. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and grab some items out, and we're gonna come up with a couple more poles and then get this set up before, knowing my luck, it starts raining again. Let's take a look at the shelter. This is what I was attempting to do last week, was have more of the floor showing like that. And I couldn't do that because there wasn't enough grommets. Because I needed a grommet in between there and there in order to pull it out there and make it taut. So you can see in between each one of these grommets, I added another grommet. I got these at I think it was Family Farm, and yes, they are real freaking brass, very hard to find. So what I did is I got some fresh deadfall, cut a pole here, staked it out there, went to the tree. That I did for the heck of it. And before I leave today, I will mark on my hiking staff how high up this pole needs to be so I don't ever have to guess again. Then we simply tied out from here to this tree, and this is not very tight at all. And then I'm using the springiness of this tree to keep it taut, but when the wind blows, it's got enough flexibility that it doesn't rip the grommets out. And kind of the same thing with this right here, this setup into that tree. And here comes the sun again. Now on this one there's not much tension on this one at all actually. But I came around this tree, and if you notice, I picked up some deadfall and put it right there because I'm pretty sure there's poison ivy hidden in that vine. So my cordage won't touch the poison ivy. I just put this little piece of deadfall there just to block it. So hopefully we didn't disturb it. Yes, you can still get poison ivy in the middle of winter. Trust me, I know. Anyway, and then I just tied off to this deadfall, and then on this side, since I noticed when I tied it to the tree, it kind of pulled it back a little bit, so I did the same thing here, tied it off to that tree over yonder, and then we got the same pole size over here. Now, what I want to do next, it's not fall over. Yes, my hip is hurting a little bit today. What I want to do next, while the wind ain't blowing like all heck, is I'm going to drop it down into storm mode, and we're going to run this in real time so you can see how long it actually takes. See, that didn't take but what? Oh, maybe a minute, maybe 2 minutes. Now, if I was in a hurry, we could do that a lot faster. And of course, you're going to want to stake the center one out if you were in a storm. But for demo, we're not going to worry about that. Now, basically, we have just a regular tent. Actually, it kind of looks like a tech sport on steroids. And let's go ahead and go in as we put our knees in the mud. We've got plenty of room. Theoretically, you could put 2 people in here if you absolutely had to, but 1 person is sufficient. Now, oh yes, if we had Wally World Blue, we could take that and cover that up over there and block the elements from coming in. And also we've got our air gap to keep the air flowing. Now I'm telling you right now, it is freaking hot in here because the sun is out. And I gotta say the temperature's gotta be at least 70 degrees by now. Oh yeah, because it's burning my back as I touch the tarp. What the heck? Did not pick this up. Should have put a piece of extra cordage on here so I could grab it. Boom. We're good. Okay, normally I would go into town and buy a case of water bottles, then take about 4 of them out with me in my pack. But since everything that's been going on lately, I decided, you know what, I'm just going to leave it there. Other people need it more than I do, and I'm good. So what I've done is I don't carry these that often because they are kind of heavy and they do increase my pack weight. But since I probably didn't even come a mile in today, I'm not too worried about it. This is my stainless steel water containment system. These actually used to be vodka bottles, and a friend of mine drank the vodka. I don't know if you can still get them, and then gave them to me. Then I took the labels and stuff off. And what I've done, there's one of them. There is 2, is I put colored tape on there so I know what is what. So if I ever grab one and put contaminated water in it, like creek water or whatever, I'll know not to drink that. So, and then you can boil these, but make sure you take the cap off. Another problem I had when I came out is it's 90% humidity today because, well, it rained. And the temperature now, I looked a minute ago, it was 69, 70 degrees. Opened my pack up and these things automatically started condensating. Well, I knew that was going to happen, so I just wrapped it with the towel for now. But what I want to do long term, since I'm going to be using these for a while, I have a feeling, is I got some old jeans at home, and I'm going to sew a cover for them and just slide the cover on, and it'll keep it cooler and then wick up the moisture so it doesn't get in my pack and still keep it cool. So we're going to go ahead and pour this in here. I'll wrap this up again. I did keep one water bottle, and this will be my drink mix water bottle. So I'll pour water from the stainless steel container into there to make my drink mixes. So what we have on tap for a snack, it's sticking to everything. What the heck? Magic trick, check this out, guys. Poof. Okay, it was worth a shot. I'm just gonna munch down on these protein packs. Yeah, you can get them. I got this one at Dollar General, I think it was. It's only a couple of bucks, maybe $1.50. Wasn't much, but it's got your nuts in there, a little beef jerky, and seeds, sunflower seeds. And the protein on it, I can't even freaking read it. It's 13 grams, not bad. It'll fill you up in a pinch.
Skies were partly sunny. The temperature was 72, the dew point 61, and the relative humidity 68%. The wind was south at 14 miles an hour. The pressure was 29.64 inches and falling. Around Kansas City and Harrisonville, fog was reported with a temperature of 66.
Talk about a rude awakening. Let me explain. I'm sitting there taking a siesta. Oh, I'm out good. And then I notice I'm starting to get wet in my bumper region. Here, let me show you. Right there. And my knee, or my leg right here. And what had happened is I rolled out of the shelter and over here. In the process, I pushed that down and water started leaking in. It's all the water from the ground seeping up. I had to laugh. It was my fault. This would have been such an easy fix. All I would have to, or had to have done, is grab, a deadfall, maybe that one there, slid it on this side of the stake, all the way across the front of the shelter, to the other side of the stake. And one, I wouldn't have rolled out. Two, I would have made a tray so the water wouldn't have seeped in. Well, since I'm awake now, I kind of checked the weather forecast. We're looking good. We got some pretty good 14-mile-an-hour wind gusts, and I'm pretty sure they're a little bit higher than that because these trees are really freaking moving up there. What's concerning me is my ears are popping. That means there's a front rolling in. And then when the clouds go over the sun and I can look out into the woods and you can see fog starting to roll in, which is not a good thing. Doing an overnight in the fog is freaking awesome. Love it. Trying to hike out in the fog in the dark, not so much. So I think what we're gonna do now, we've got plenty of time. Yeah, let's not risk it. I'm gonna break the shelter down, put everything away, then we're gonna hike up to the river and take a look at the water levels, especially after all that rain we've had. Take a look where I was laying. Look at that. All the groundwater is seeping up. I mean, I figured if we dig an Egyptian well, we could get water out of it. Look at that. Okay, and my tarp is soaking wet too. Just where I've been standing is just soaking wet. That means this area is over freaking saturated. If we get the rain they're talking about tonight, there could be some minor flooding down here. Let's take a look at my pack setup. It's been a while. So, you know, I got the thermal rest down there. The CRT half chance there. It's all carabined in. All the pockets are carabined closed, so they won't come open. And then up here we got the shelter system. And this is an extra strap I added on from, I got it from Wally World. And then I just put the shelter under that, buckled it in. And what's cool about it, if I need to get into the pack, I can pop this open, flip the shelter up, still access everything inside the pack. And if I needed to, I can put my jacket underneath here, then clamp it down. And then these carabiners here are around the Velcro. That way if I'm bushwhacking and something grabs a hold of the cordage out here and tries to pull the shelter out, one, this will stop it. Two, I'm going to feel it. So I'm going to stop and see what the hell's going on. All right, try to get all the dirt off of it. I just did the last check of the area. I didn't leave a trace except for where I was sleeping. And now we're going to head for the river. Okay, the road is that way. The river should be right around there somewhere. And then the mountaineer is somewhere over there. So we're going to head this direction towards the river. As I'm looking at the river, it hasn't really gone up or down any. It's pretty much the same, so I don't think we're going to have to worry about flooding. Oh, you can definitely see some disturbance in the water over there. You can see the discoloration. That means there's something underneath there. You know what? Let's duck back into the woods because it's freaking windy out. I can barely hear it, but the frogs are starting to wake up. They're down that way somewhere, so there must be some water or something. Well, friends, I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up. I got quite a bit accomplished today, or what I wanted to do is check out how the shelter would work with the new grommets I put in. And two different configurations were perfect. No fire today, just too darn windy out. Just a little dangerous. Plus, as you can tell that I am coming out a lot earlier than normal, and that's because of the circumstances of what's going on in the world today. She wants me home, and I understand that. Next week, if I'm not under lockdown, we're going to hit the Hobo Highway. What is that? And hike down the rails a little ways, check out the cliffs, my cliff shelter, and then I've been talking to a couple people, and they said there's a bunch of FEMA trains moving through, stocked full of supplies. Maybe we can find one of them and check it out, or it might be too late by then. What is this? Cobweb. I just ran through a spider web. That was a big old crate. That has a lot of building potential. Oh my goodness, it really does. We can do all sorts of stuff with this. Okay, that's for a project for another time. Anyway, Thanks for coming along with me on my journey, and please stay safe out there. And remember, it will get better eventually. Whoops, I almost forgot. We got to do it. See you on YouTube! Hey, the next time you see me, I might not have a mustache. I'm thinking about shaving it off, just for the heck of it.